Hey guys, what's up? I hope you're all doing great. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on that little bell for post notifications. Also, make sure to help me out and hit that like button. In this video, I will be reviewing an amazing and inspiring documentary about the disability rights movement. Let's get into it. This is my first ever review video. I've never done this before, so please bear with me, and I hope you guys enjoy. Today, I will be reviewing the film Crip Camp. It was released on Netflix in March 2020, so I am a little late to the party. I've known about this film for a while, but it's a documentary, so I figured it would be like any other documentary, and I figured it would be boring, and I wasn't really interested in seeing it at first. I just recently decided that I would go ahead and check it out, and I'm so glad that I did. Crip Camp is an amazing film, and I absolutely loved it. It is one of the most incredible and inspiring films ever. It is truly an important part of history. You definitely need to watch it to educate yourself about what people with disabilities have gone through and how far things have come for us. I almost guarantee that you will love it. It is about Camp Jened, a loose and free-spirited camp for teens with disabilities in the early 70s and how it impacted their lives. Here is a quick synopsis from IMDb. Down the road from Woodstock, a revolution blossomed at a ramshackle summer camp for teenagers with disabilities, transforming their lives and igniting a landmark movement. So, before we get into an in-depth review of the film, I would like to share a few things about it. First, this film is not your typical documentary. It shows actual footage from the events, and you actually feel an emotional connection to the main people. Next, this film is the first mainstream movie about disability history. It is the first time that the challenges that people with disabilities face in society has been shown in a popular way. This is definitely something that needs to be shown more so that people are aware of these challenges. This film has also made some big moves. It won the Audience Award at the Sundance Film Festival, and it received an Academy Award nomination for the Best Documentary Feature. So now let's get into the review. Here are a few things that stood out to me and some of my thoughts after watching the movie. Some of these are just historical facts, but they really stuck with me. To begin, the camp reminded me of an NBA summer camp that I went to for many years. The campers were able to be themselves, have fun, and forget about their struggles. This is something that I really appreciated about going to NBA summer camp, and I can definitely relate. They were also able to meet lifelong friends that could relate to their struggles. This is something that I was also able to do at MDA Summer Camp, and I'm so thankful for that opportunity. Next, something that I thought was really cool was that many of the counselors had disabilities themselves. This was awesome because the campers were able to make a connection to many of the counselors since they had something in common. Third, I really appreciated that everyone involved in the camp were able to joke around about their situations. I feel like I would have fit in perfectly here because I am constantly joking about my condition. I feel like it's a great therapy to help make the struggles seem less challenging. It also adds light to more negative and depressing situations, and I feel like it just makes everyone feel more comfortable. One of the things that I found funny in the film was the camp director was digging holes, and when asked what he was doing, he said that the campers were clumsy, and he thought it would be funny if they fell in the holes. The person behind the camera doing the interview then proceeded to say, "Yeah, you have to teach us cripples a lesson." I thought that was absolutely hilarious. Another thing that I found funny in the film was one of the girls at the camp was saying that she has a disability because she was either hit by a truck or a bus or something. I can't quite remember. But after she said that, someone said, "Congratulations." Now, this is kind of some dark humor, but I still kind of found it to be a little funny. Another thing that I thought of while watching this film was that Judy Heumann is a badass. She was one of the counselors at the camp, and she had polio. She was a disability rights activist that founded Disabled in Action, and she started the civil rights movement for people with disabilities. The thing that I like most about her is that she never gave up, and she kept working even through all the difficult challenges that she faced. I'm so grateful for her and the work that she has done to make things better for me and other people with disabilities. Something else that stood out to me is that things were so difficult for people with disabilities at this time. They were seen as sick, and society basically didn't see them as people. Nothing was accessible, including buildings, sidewalks, and public transportation. Children with disabilities at this time were not allowed to attend normal public schools, and adults with disabilities were unable to get jobs because of discrimination. Most people with disabilities at this time were sent to institutes with horrible conditions, and the people there were treated very inhumanely. The film showed one institution where there were people with disabilities lying around everywhere, and they were naked and not taken care of. The people at this institute were only allowed 3 minutes to eat, and they were not fed very well. This was something that was really hard to see. It was very sad, and I couldn't believe that they were treated this way. One thing that I thought was important to share was a story that a lady in the film had shared. I can't remember her name, and I apologize for that. But anyway, she had a negative view on disabilities, and her eyes were opened up after she became paralyzed due to an accident. I thought that this was important to share because I thought it really said something about people. And I'm not talking about just with disabilities. As people, we don't really think of things that don't affect us until they actually do affect us. I believe that we need to open our eyes more and we need to be more mindful about everything. Next, there were some facts about the disability rights movement that I found to be very interesting. Because of the issues that people with disabilities faced at this time, activists like Judy Heumann worked to pass laws to make things better. The first thing that they worked on was Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act, which guarantees certain rights to people with disabilities and offers them protection. In 1972 and 73, President Nixon had vetoed it. And in 1972, there was a sit-in on Madison Avenue where people with disabilities and people in wheelchairs blocked traffic, along with other demonstrations in DC. The US government stalled the regulations for years, and after some resistance from Joseph Califano in 1977, a national protest was started known as the 504 sit-in. The sit-in lasted for 25 days in a San Francisco federal building, and they even started a hunger strike where they didn't eat for about a month. At one point, the government shut off the water to the 4th floor of the building, and they even cut phone lines. The really cool thing about this is that because it was people with disabilities, there were deaf people, so they used sign language to communicate with other people outside. Something else that was really cool about this is that the Black Panthers helped by providing them with food since they were trying to make a change. The sit-in worked and the regulations were signed, but they were not enforced and things didn't get better for years. Eventually, people with different disabilities formed coalitions that worked together to draft and pass the 1990 American with Disabilities Act. So there's your history lesson for the day. I will be expecting a paper from all of you by the end of the week. Just kidding, you don't have to do that because I hate writing papers too. Today, people with disabilities still don't have all the rights that they deserve, and that needs to change. Some things still aren't accessible in the world, like airplanes. Society still also has a negative view on people with disabilities. And nothing's going to change until society's way of thinking changes. This film truly inspired me, and I will continue to be an activist for disability rights. It made me want to fight harder and to keep working to get the rights that us people with disabilities deserve. It was so inspirational that it made me cry because I was so happy. And I was so proud of the leaders of the disability rights movement that have worked to make things so much easier for me and other people with disabilities. This film should not go anywhere, and I believe that everyone should watch it. I also think that it should be shown in schools and that the history of the disability rights movement should be taught as well because it is so important. Make sure to go check it out and let me know what you think. That's going to do it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you learned something new. I also hope you take the time to go watch Crip Camp because it is such an amazing movie and it is so important. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time. Just remember to stay positive and keep that smile on your face. And as always, keep rolling. Jorgey's out. Peace.
I'ma ride or die, I'ma do it for my squad. My life has been amazing, yeah, I'm putting that on God.